Do you smell that? Do you smell that? It smells like football, baby. Let's go. What is going on, everyone? That is right. I have on the Carson Wentz jersey. We are inching closer to legitimate football. Come on now. It's funny because you get into the July and it's so slow. And don't get me wrong, we're still in that slow time. But because football training camp begins, we're inching our way closer. We're inching ourselves closer to some football. And I am so pumped about it. Now, as you see, I'm rocking the Carson Wentz jersey because there's a little bit of Carson Wentz in discussion today, as we will talk about where he is ranked in the top 100. But for the main part of this video, I wanted to discuss the coaching staff. Doug Pederson and the coordinators, to be completely honest with you. This is a huge season for us. I obviously think Doug Pederson is a fantastic coach. I love his aggressiveness. I do. I love his aggressiveness. He's not afraid. He's willing to go out there and die on what he believes in. And that is putting your foot on the gas pedal, making plays happen, being aggressive, and not being afraid. Taking advantage of opportunities, executing in big moments. That's what he thrives on as a coach. You're not going to punt on 4th and 1, 4th and 2 in a big moment. No. Win your battles, win the trenches, and go get that first down. But, the players go out there and execute. That's reality. But his mindset has the entire team believe that they will get that first down. It's not even a thought that they're going to get stopped. He's the leader of the crew. He does a tremendous job leading, and that's what I love about Doug Pederson. I've been on the record saying this before. I think Doug is fantastic at the locker room stuff. His players love him. Absolutely love him. Will do anything for that man, which is step one. Compare it to, say, Chip Kelly, who no one respected, right? That's step one. That's huge. He does need a little advice when it comes to game planning and offensive scheme. I think that is a point where coordinators can really help Doug Pederson. Now, I'm not saying he's awful at it. I'm not saying he's horrendous at it. But I think his strongest point is gathering the crew. Making sure everyone believes. Making sure everyone is focused. That's what Doug Pederson thrives at. His weakest points, which aren't even insanely weak, it's just his weakest points, is where I think game planning offensively and putting together a structural game plan of plays. He gets the help from the offensive coordinator, and then from there, he implements it to the team. So, let's talk about the offensive coordinator, because I'm not a huge fan of Mike Groh. He hasn't shown me a lick of anything. Our offense was abysmal last year. Keep in mind, we had Carson Wentz who was playing, coming off the injury, and then a broken back. Keep in mind, we didn't have guys to stretch the field like we thought we would. Keep in mind, early in the season, it was embarrassing what our offensive line performed like. There was a lot involved. But all around, when it came to creativity, the offense stalled. It didn't have that juice. It didn't have that flow. And I look at Mike Groh for that. We watched what Frank Reich was able to do with this offense. It wasn't even close to the same thing as it was with Frank Reich and Mike Groh. So my only thing is going in with optimism. My only mindset right now is I'm going in with fan optimism, blind fan optimism, hoping that last year was able to help Mike Groh grow. Seeing his pieces, seeing how players play, getting the addition of Deshaun Jackson, having a decent running back core, that kind of thing. Hopefully that is something that Mike Groh can use, and Doug Pederson, because they go in there together, and there's other coaches as well, but now that they've seen it and they've had a year together, now they understand each other, they understand the mindset, they want to approach things a certain way, and they've seen it. So I'm just hoping and praying that Mike Groh takes a step in his career as offensive coordinator. Because what I saw last year, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you, I didn't love. Now let's talk about Jim Schwartz, because I have such a love-hate relationship with Jim Schwartz. His motto, obviously, is getting to the quarterback. Getting to the quarterback makes his scheme work. If you don't get to the quarterback, your scheme isn't effective. But he doesn't bring the blitz, really. It's just about getting pressure from your front four. It's not so much blitzing. Because you have all your DBs, you have your safeties. We're playing that picket fence defense. But if you're not getting to the quarterback, okay, see you later. You're going to get torched. You're going to get abused. They're going to throw underneath, throw underneath, throw underneath, throw underneath, throw underneath. First down, first down, first down, first down, first down. That's what it's going to be like. That's how it's going to go. But when his players execute, it works. But then you see things like last year in Tennessee when it was, 4th and long in overtime? And then you see the Carolina Panthers game when we're up 17-0 in the fourth quarter and we blow it. Like, at times, you need to figure out that the picket fence defense isn't going to work. So there's times where I do understand his scheme. But you need to adjust at times. Like, it's flawed. It's flawed. It works at times, and there's reasons for it, and there's reasons to stick with it. But then there's also times where you need to adjust. You gotta do something different to throw them off their game. He's someone who lives and dies by his brand only. He's kind of got an ego about him where he's sticking to his guns no matter what. And to an extent, I respect that. But at times, like, use your brain, right? Throw something at them. Throw a blitz in there because you normally don't blitz, so that would throw off the quarterback. Give a simple look and add some kind of element to it where it confuses the offense or it confuses the offensive line. Something. But once again, we were playing last year with guys we picked up off the street. The cornerbacks kept falling and falling. So I see Jim Schwartz's plan. I think it has value. I think it works at times. But there's got to be other situations to do something different, to throw off the other team. He doesn't really do that side. And it's funny. I'm sitting here and I'm ripping apart Mike Groh and I'm ripping apart Jim Schwartz to an extent. And I say Doug Pederson has offensive flaws when it comes to making plays and coming up with a legit game plan. But I still think we're going to be one of the best teams in football. I do. Jim Schwartz did win a Super Bowl with that scheme, right? So when players are in there, the right players, it works. When we can get to the quarterback, it works. So it all relies on the front four, which I think we have a good front four. Maybe not the same depth as we once did, but with Fletcher Cox and Malik Jackson there, and then you got your pass rushers like Derek Barnett, who's going to have a good season, Brandon Graham, who's going to put pressure on, maybe not so much sack, but make the quarterback work, pressure him. This is where we are right now. We are a team with a lot of praise, a lot of hype, and a lot of energy surrounding them. And speaking of that energy, we have now an underdog-like vibe going because Carson Wentz went from third best in the league in the NFL top 100 to now 96. Keep in mind, the players are the ones out there talking about who they're mentioning in the top 100, and you got to think Carson Wentz's skill set is still just as good as they thought it was. I don't think they think Carson Wentz's skill set is any different than it was a year ago. But if he's not available, well, how can you even put your skill set to the test? How can you even go out there and perform? Well, you can't. So I understand the big jump, and realistically, I'm okay with it, and here's why. Fuel. Bulletin board material. Let it piss them off. Let it piss Carson off. You don't piss Carson Wentz off. You don't think it's going to piss him off? Oh, it absolutely is. He's going to be fired up. He's going to be ready to go. He's going to use that to motivate him. He's the type of player that uses motivation and crushes it normally and really makes it happen. So, to an extent, I'm somewhat thrilled because I want him to use this and let it fuel him inside. Yo, Carson, the NFL players moved you 93 spots. How does that make you feel? Go out there and prove them wrong. Dominate. Escape the pocket like you did in year one. Have 6 Redskins defenders on you. Somehow escape it. And run for a first. Be the magician you once were. I think it's going to happen. I believe in it. I believe in the Carson Wentz hype. I think this year is going to be special for him. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts down below on the coaching staff. Even though I criticize them, I still think that they have enough to make it really happen, because on a skill side of this roster, we are stacked. We are stacked. And let me know what you think about Carson Wentz. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.